Hi there. In this tutorial, I'll show you how you can create rocks using Substance Designer. So let's jump in and see how to create those rocks.
Welcome back once again. So let's go ahead and create our rock from scratch. So first thing I'll do is go to File and click New, and let's click a new substance graph, and let's just call that our rocks. Let's go ahead and save it. So the first thing we'll do is to bring in a node we can use as a base to start building. Let's go ahead and bring in the polygon 2 node. So I'll press the space bar, I'll search for a polygon, and I'll bring in the polygon 2, and we can see the polygon 2. I'll just zoom out a little bit so we can actually see our scene right here. I'm also using the high-res plane with our polygon 2. Let's go ahead and change some of the instance parameters. I'll set my sides to 9, so I'll just drag it over here. In case you can't see this, you just drag over this side, and I'll set the sides to 9. And also set the scale to a value about 0.7. So I'll just drag this. I could just type in 0.7 just to set that scale to a smaller value. So next, we're going to bring in a shape that looks like some rock structures, but we need to edit those shapes. And that pattern we're going to bring in is the cells pattern. So press the space bar. Now let's search for cells. We have cells 1 to 4. I'll just bring in cells 1. And with a little bit of edits, we can change this to resemble some kind of rock pebbles. Let's go ahead and do that. So for the scale, let's set this to 4, which is good. We can actually see the output right here. And let's blend that with our polygon shape like so. So let's bring in a blend node. So we'll just drag the output and click on blend. And what we're going to do is to set the polygon 2 as well as an input into the blend. So let's just drag the output. We'll just drag this in. And we can actually see we can't see our cells. We need to change our blend mode. So let's set this to subtract. And it's actually doing the opposite. So what we need to do is to invert this connection. So select these two connections and press X. And there we can actually see we have an output with our polygon right here that has a very nice gradient. Let's move on. To make this have a very nice range in the grayscale tones, let's use a auto node. So let's go ahead and set that right now. I believe it's called the auto levels. So let's say auto levels, and let's just drag in the auto levels and drop this in here, and let's connect our blend to our auto levels. This gives a nice range between the black and white values in our connections. So let's just drag this outputs and just drag them to the right so we can have a little extra space to work with as we drag this to the left as well. So next, we'll begin to start deforming this shape so we can have multiple edges. Some of the edges are a little bit chipped, and we also want to add a few noises to this. And to do that, let's bring in a slope blur grayscale. So I'll just say a slope blur grayscale, and we'll pass in this as an input. So let's take in our auto levels and pass in this as an input to our slope blur grayscale. And now we need to assign some nice slope values. A very good tone to use or node to use will be the crystals node. So let's press the space bar and let's search for crystal. Let's look for crystal 1, the one with the black and white values. And this is quite large, so it's quite small actually, so let's go ahead and bump this size. So let's set our scale to 3, so I'll just click on this and then type in 3, so we can actually see that it's quite large. So what we're also going to do is to use a blur HQ grayscale to blur out the edges of this. So I'll just drag the output and just do a blur HQ grayscale and then pass that in like so. So the idea is to pass this into our slope blur. I'll just zoom in a little bit so we can have this combination right here for this crystals 1. So let's take the output and let's connect it right here. And we can actually see we're getting some nice blurring around the edge of this shape right here. So we can also tweak this and do some additions. Let's go ahead and see how we can do that. Let's change the values of our slope blur grayscale. So let's set the samples to 32. And let's set our intensity to say, let's try 20. I'll set this to, let's increase this to 30. I think that's a little much. So let's set this to 22. That's kind of like sharp and super blurry right there. Let's also set our min. Set this mode to min so we reduce that effect and see it has this nice gradient and fall off. So next, we're going to take advantage of the slope blur's input for the slope to recreate another detail. So next, what we'll do is to just drag this out and add another slope blur grayscale. So once we have this, we can add additional inputs for this grayscale. So I'm going to leave the mode at blur. I'm still going to turn up the samples to 32. And let's bring in a purling noise for the input. So I'll go over here, press the space bar, and search for a purling noise. I'll just click on that purling noise and leave everything as the default. I believe I might also want to just reduce this scale, but since I want additional texture details, I'm going to just leave that at 40, and I'll drag this over to our slope blur grayscale like so. Let's just zoom in and see what's happening here. So it's highly deforming this. It's because the intensity is very high, so it's really strong on this. So what we'll do is to reduce this to a very, let's try 0.25. So here I'm just winging this value, and we can see what's happening at 0.25. It's giving it this kind of like a solid, kind of like a crystalline look, so that's still too much. So let me just try 0.05. To have just a little bit there. So we can actually see, this, but it's actually, it's there, but it's not very noticeable, which is actually a good value to use. So I'll just leave this at 0.05, and feel free to play around and change this as well. Our graph is almost done for this basic rock, so let's go ahead and add some fine micro details. To do that, let's look for a clouds node, or a node that has this kind of like noise around it. Let's use the clouds 1, and let's pass in, let's go ahead and do this so that we can find something to combine this with. So let's look for a blend node. So I'll click on the blend node, and let's go ahead and also look for. So let's take our slope blur grayscale and place this in the foreground. And let's take our clouds too and place this in the background as an input. So we can just click the blend and see what's happening. Let's invert this. And then also let's set this blend mode to subtract. And now we can actually see what's going on here. It's actually getting rid of the details on our rocks, and that's kind of like much. So let's add a slope blur grayscale to, kind of like get rid of that detail. So let's do a slope blur grayscale. Just place this right here. And for the intensity, let's set that to 0.1, just to have that minimal intensity right there. So next, let's see our blend mode, because this is super high. We can turn this down. We can turn the opacity down to see what we're working with. I'll just zoom this in. So I'll set the opacity to a value that I'm slightly comfortable with. I don't want that clouds 1 detail to just kill everything. So I'll set the opacity to 0.1. So if it's at 0, this is what we're getting. But I'll set it to, let's say, 0.05, like so. So we have a little bit of that clouds 1, going through this here. And then our slope blur grayscale would need a slope that we can pass in. So we'll still use our clouds 1 node and pass this into our output here. So you can actually see that we're getting this kind of like crystalline structure around here. So what we can also do is to we can increase the sample count just to give it a very high quality. And then what we can also do is to lower down this intensity. So I'll try 0.025. I think 0.025 is not too bad. So with this, what we can actually do is to pass this into our various channels. So to do that, I also like using just use a basic blur node, and then we'll set the intensity to 0. Basically, it's not blurring anything. And the reason why I like using the blur is because it has a nice input, and we can pass in the output as well. So let's click on our normal map, and let's set the intensity to like 12. And let's drag in this blur and place this blur into our normal map. And here in our 3D view, we can actually see our final output and how this is looking. We're having this nice textured rocky surface. We can always go back and minute or take out some of those details in case we don't want to do that in these specific nodes. So what I also like to do is to set the ambient occlusion. I'll just click on this uniform color and delete it. And then here, I'll use the HBAO, the horizon-based ambient occlusion. And once we have that, we can drag in the blur output into the HBO input, which will create our ambient occlusion map right here, which adds additional details. For this, I'll just leave the normal and the roughness map. And also, if we want to increase the bump, what we're going to do is to go over here under the materials, where it says default. Let's click the metal roughness and click on tessellation and displacement. It's going to take a few seconds, and we can actually see our properties window going to change right now. And what we can do is to increase the tessellation factor, and then we can kind of like bump up the scale of that height map. Already now it's flat, but once I start increasing the scale, we should see that affect our object right here. So that's how you can create a basic texture. From here, what you want to do is we can add a tile sampler node to scatter this. So I can just do a tile. We can use a tile sampler, like so. And then once we have that, we can make sure our pattern is set to image pattern input, and we can just drag in our blur like so, and we can start creating and increasing the X amount and increasing the Y amount and start scattering. But that's just by the way, and that's how you can create a basic rock using Substance Designer.